What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of Turf Therapy. So I'm a little bit tired already because I've knocked out about 2.5 to 3 hours worth of work working on this live edge over here. Now, like I told you in the last lawn care video we did last week, I really like this live edge look that I have over here on this side of the house. Now, I said, hey, I liked it so much that I'm thinking about doing it to my front as well. And that's exactly what I did, but I made a mistake. I made my pitch dramatically too high. So what we did this morning was we went ahead and adjusted that pitch quite a bit, thanks to my man Cam giving me a hand over there at Elevated Lawnscapes. So what we did was we took that high edge pitch, I'll throw some footage on the screen, and what we did was we leveled that out quite a bit. What was happening was when the rain came, it was washing all of the mulch down and off of the area that I'm trying to keep the mulch on, which the soil. It was washing the mulch off of the soil and then leaving it all jacked up. So I think we're good now. I think I fixed the pitch. It is a lot less dramatic around the whole portion of this edge. And to be honest, this is just so much of a more natural look, and it's free. I mean, other than a little bit of hard work and a little bit of manual labor, it's completely free. And I think it just looks so much better. What do you guys think? Yeah, but I know you guys didn't come here to see what things I'm doing in the landscaping. You want to see how this Poa Triv is doing up against this Aneuw. And to be quite honest, the Poa Triv still looks like it does not like the Aneuw. Now, I know what you might be thinking, like, what are you gonna do if the Aneuw smokes out the Poa Triv entirely, you know, and then you have major bald spots where these god-awful eyesores are right now on the lawn? And the quick answer is I'm gonna spot seed. I will be spot seeding all the areas that the Triv completely dies out on, if that's what happens. But if it doesn't, you at the very least know whether or not it's worth the investment for you and your situation. That's kind of what I'm doing here. You know, I saw a product, I was interested in it, and I figured I'd test it out here for you on my channel so you can determine whether or not if the product's gonna be right for you. So before we get into the second application of the Aneuw, and y'all see that like field of dandelions over there, we gotta take care of that. Because we don't want that to spread on my side. So I'm gonna mix up another batch of some TZone-SE. I think I'm gonna leave the Dismiss NXT out of it. I don't really need it in this application. So we're gonna do some TZone-SE over there to clean up that dandelion. And then I noticed that I missed a couple spots, or maybe the weeds just came out after I did my last application. We're gonna do some small spot spraying in my lawn. But before we do any of that, I need to get a fresh mow in. So let's go ahead and knock that out. All right, stay tuned. Sheesh. For mow number 2, I mean, guys, I know it's not perfect, but hear me out. I'm at least 3 weeks ahead of schedule from where I was last year. You don't believe me? Go look at my Mother's special from last year when I'm trying to make the lawn green up in honor of the mothers. And I think I'm gonna run the same day on Mother's Day special this year too, because look, I mean, I'm already green. I wasn't here last year, this time of the year. So I'm super excited to know that I'm 3 weeks ahead of schedule. Trust the process and you will have success. It's just that simple. Don't give up. Don't give up, don't get complacent. Don't be upset because your yard doesn't look like that other YouTubers, or your yard doesn't look as good as your neighbors across the street. Just worry about you and your space, your domain. That's all you can control. And so as long as you put that hard work and dedication to it, guess what? Everything else will rise to the occasion. Enough for the pep talk. Let's go ahead and get this application of Aneuw down. I am doing, again, the max rate. I had a lot of questions on my last video asking me what my application rate was for the Aneuw, and I am going the max rate for cool season lawns, which is 0.37. Now, I warn you, this is something that I didn't realize until actually today, taking a closer look, and I thought that this discoloration had everything to do with the sulfurentrazone, but now I have a second thought and a second theory to that. Now, this area over here is the most shaded part of my lawn, and I will no longer be applying Aneuw over here because I forgot that I didn't apply normal fescue or granite, the Kentucky bluegrass granite over there. No, I actually applied a very dense shade mix there, which happens to be like munching fescue, chewing fescue, and I don't think that stuff likes the Aneuw at all. So learn from me, heed my warning, don't apply it on fine fescues or chewing fescues, at the very least not at max rates. So I'll be foregoing applying on that section for the remainder of the season. It will recover, and if it doesn't, well, oh well, at least you learned not to do what I did. But for the rest of the lawn and for the rest of everything else out here, I mean, looking green, almost blue-green. This is what Aneuw looks like, right? It comes in these little granular, wettable granular style formulation, right? So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure that you go ahead and hydrate that ahead of time. Now, people also ask me which sprayer did I use, how did I apply it? Did I apply it through a hose-in sprayer? Absolutely not. You do not want to apply this with a hose-in sprayer. You want an accurate sprayer, backpack battery operated sprayer, so you can have a consistent output. And of course you want to do it on a nice calm day where your wind's not blowing no more than about 5 miles per hour, because you do not want drift in your garden beds or in your flower beds, because this would have an adverse effect on those types of things. I will be finishing the video up by spraying off those dandelions. I'll be using the good old Ryobi, tried and true Ryobi for that application. Now that I have 2 different backpack sprayers, I try to keep things that tend to be more on the illicide type stuff, the more strong herbicides, I run in my Ryobi now. And things like plant growth regulators, fertilizers, neem oil for my garden and stuff like that, I run that in the JACTO. All right, so that pretty much wraps this episode up, guys. I got my spot spraying done with the TZone-SE. I had to do more of a blanket application over there on the neighbor's lawn. And then I went across the street and I touched up Marcus' lawn as well because, well, I know he would appreciate it. Now, for next time we come back, it's about time to start slapping this thing with a little bit of iron to get prepped for, yeah, Mother's Day, my Mother's Day special. And like I said, I am on target to really be on a dark green blue before we even get to Memorial Day. And to me, that's very, very exciting. Like I said, guys, thanks for tuning in for another episode of Turf Therapy with Real Healing Lawns and Souls. And I'll see you next time for your weekly dose of therapy with Rob. Peace.